Hey, good morning. You know what day it is? It is the last day of Kelvin's vacation. Thank God he's coming back on Monday, right? The Geyer Cook Report today on September the 16th. We have to get the date right. That's a long story. And on Monday, Kelvin is going to be back and the world will be a better place. There'll be a ripple in the force. The university will be quite pleased. And so on Fridays, the Geyer Cook Report is a summary of the week's episodes, the previous weeks, Monday through Thursday. And so on Monday, we call it Happy Monday, and we refresh your routine. And the first thing we talked about on Monday, the show notes as always, I left that, I forgot to say that. The GeyerCookReport.podbean.com is where you go to get the show notes, right? And have a link to all these pages I'm going to talk about here directly. Okay, Monday, the first link up in Monday was 15 landing page ideas to jumpstart your next campaign. So sometimes we have that writer's block that consists of, what am I going to say about this campaign? How am I going to launch this? Who we are, where we are, what we do, campaign. What's the best emotional value I can give it? And so storytelling tips to tell your business story like a TED Pro. There's a emotional marketing value headline analyzer from American Advanced Marketing Institute, and there's one from coschedule.com. Use both of those tools. Give yourself the best headline possible for your campaign to work and be right. So on Tuesday, on SEO Tips Tuesday, which was September 13th, if you're following along on the dates, the episode was Google local SEO tips, and there were 5 things listed there, which I amended a little bit, that you need to do to start your local SEO campaign. The first one was to get together your list of keywords. In an upcoming episode of the Geyer Cook Report, we're going to talk about keyword research in better detail. But for now, I'm just going to say you get your list of keywords, however you go about doing that, whether you hire somebody to do that or you do it yourself. And then you put them into your website. You set up a Facebook page for that website to drive traffic to your website. You set up a Twitter account to drive traffic to your website. Something that Twitter just started today, and I just researched today. If your company offers support via Twitter, you can set that up in Twitter account now. That's a feature they just added. Doesn't cost a penny. Get listed in Google Places, and actually the true name of it now is Google My Business. This article was written long enough ago that they've changed the name. So you want to get those 5 things done. And then, of course, the amendment to that motion was to set up your Google account. And that being said, the next thing we talked about was SEO tips and tricks, SEO optimization. It's a collection of URLs, and it's a way to repurpose your information in those URLs. So that what they've done is they've built their search terms into titles. So if you have a look and then have a listen at those presentations, they're an MP3 and you have to sign up to get them. And I don't think there's any fee involved. At least I didn't sign up, so I don't know for sure. And then finally, we talked about the schema part of things in video. And I put together a how-to set up your microdata, which is called structured data for video. And it explains the process, how you go about doing it, what tools you're going to use. And so you'll have your YouTube video link there on how to do it. So it's available to anyone that can get to YouTube, can see the video. I was going to put it just on my website, and I said, nah, I better put it on YouTube. Wednesday, what's on our mind? We talked about services that we deliver. vDomain Hosting was asked just the other day, what are your deliverables? What can you do for my company? Like, I know you do a lot of things for yourself. What can you do for me? Well, one of the things that we can do is various social media properties that need to have a consistent look and feel, maybe to match your brand for your website. And we've set those up. The first thing we did in the list we prepared was talked about Facebook commenting on your site. So if someone makes a comment on your blog post, it's going to comment into their Facebook presence too. Setting up the icons for social media links, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Google Plus. Say that 3 times real fast. We'll set those icons up. The social sharing, like, and share buttons that you need to have. There's a WordPress plugin that'll even do that. In fact, several of them, and I've got the link there to show you that list to pick and choose which one you want. There's a way that you can take your Twitter feed and your hashtags for your product and services feeds, and then you have Facebook tabs for opt-in and products and services, right? So you've got those 2 things going, the Twitter over here, the Facebook over here, and we sync them together. So you only have to post like once in Twitter and then it shows up in your Facebook, and vice versa. It's a 2-way street. Customize your Facebook page and icon, the cover image and the header of the Facebook page. It used to be you could have 20% text and then anything over that, we wouldn't share it. Well, now they've loosened that up a little bit. And the next thing we do is to customize your Google Plus business page. You know that my place on the Google is where you announce your hours, your location, the things that make your business work. If they've got questions, they can ask questions. And then we customize the Twitter page design. We set up your Pinterest business page validation. Now, you may have a personal profile on Pinterest, but did you know you can set up a business page on Pinterest just for your company, and then you get that validated into Pinterest. You get to have what they call rich pins set up, and we got a link in the show notes that talks about the rich pins set up for Pinterest. It's just an overview, kind of an understanding. Thursday on the B2B show, we took a long look at LinkedIn. Now, they've constantly said that in B2B, you have to have a presence in LinkedIn. Well, one of the things that they have on LinkedIn is their groups. I said, I wonder how many groups they have. So I just went to their search stack and said, how many groups are there? Answer, 1,652,104. Wow. Well, how many are related to B2B? So I just put the search term B2B. And I got back 2,877 results. I divided 2,877 by the 1,652,104 to get a percent. It's a very small number. 0.00, and the whole number there is in the show notes that you can get to by going to thegeyercookreport.podbean.com. And so then I said, well, let's niche this down a bit. Let's go and add a little bit more to the keywords search. And so instead of just searching for B2B at LinkedIn, in the search box there, I added keywords, and I got back a link to the Influencer Project about optimizing your LinkedIn profile, grow your LinkedIn community, and create leads via B2B networks. Well, that was pretty close to what we want to do. So if you have a B2B campaign, you should consider LinkedIn groups to be a part of that effort. Search the groups for like-minded ideas and share there. And then the next item that we talked about on B2B Thursday, believe it or not, there are still people that don't have a Google account set up. I've got the link in the show notes on myaccount.google.com. Set that up and then take it to the next level. Give yourself the 2-step authentication. So that verification process is going to give you a little bit better security. Make a strong password with, the usual suspects, upper and lowercase characters, numbers, and special character for that password. And then finally, there's a fellow, Ian Lurie, that identified 4 HTML tags that every digital marketer must know. He's got examples of those tags and shows you what they're about, how they work, and then how do you incorporate those into a well-built project. And simply put, if you have a well-built responsive project and you've included at least these 4 HTML tags and done those correctly, you've given yourself a good foundation for your project. Again, I should mention the GuyRCookReport.podbean.com is where you go to get the show notes. You can also, in the show notes, read all the thank yous to the people that we appreciate their efforts online. The Fraser Ramsey, who came up with the idea for this show, Eileen Smith, who gave us a link to Screencast-O-Matic, and so forth and so on. All the attaboys in there, the things that we want you to see and do. They're on the show notes there. And in order to keep our show under our 10-minute limit that we've mentally arrived at, I want you to have a great weekend, which starts at 5 o'clock today. And I'll say those 3 magic words. It's a wrap.